Welcome to the newest edition of TNI News with your host, JC.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
Welcome to the newest edition of TNI News with your host, JC. Hey everybody, JC here, and welcome to another Friday action figure weekly recap. Now we've got an exciting show planned for you guys today, but before we get into today's news, in case you were wondering about that intro, so it was my way of kind of symbolizing out with the old, in with the new. A big thanks to XWE for doing animation on my new live studio audience, where you got kind of a little taste of that in today's intro. So that's just a taste of what's to come as I continue to try and create more of a show atmosphere with these videos. But of course, this is an action figure news channel, so if I'm going to have a live studio audience or a non-live studio audience, it should be of action figures, right? So again, just kind of a taste of what's to come. But again, we do have a lot of news to get in today. So it is St. Patrick's Day, or it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Some of you may already be celebrating, but I guess technically Sunday is St. Patrick's Day. But of course, I do have my Hulk St. Patrick's Day shirt on for the weekend. Hopefully, you guys, if you are going out to celebrate, you're going to have a great and safe weekend. But again, before you do, we've got a lot of news, and let's just dive right into it.
The evil Dr. Pirano changed four innocent brothers into Street Sharks. Join Ripster, Blaze, Jam, and Big Flamu. Four heroes fighting to stop the evil Dr. Piranoid from taking over the world.
Over here we have the incredible Hand Sharks. They're alive. The kids bring them to life. Kid controlled. Punchy action. Look at that. Slow down, guys. We have Ripster, we have Slobster, and we have Killamari. There's a 90-minute TV animated special coming out in March, and then we have a 13-episode action-packed series starting in September.
That action figure line from the 90s Street Sharks, which launched Vin Diesel's career, is back again from Mattel. So Mattel actually tried to relaunch Street Sharks in 2021 through the Mattel Creations website with a more designer series type line. The figures cost $75 each, and for that reason alone, I don't think they were terribly successful. But this time around, Mattel is doing more of a general release. These are available at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Amazon has them up as well. I think Walmart and Target will be carrying these figures. These only cost $25 each, so definitely a bit cheaper than those ones they did back in 2021. Now, the first wave of these figures include the character Slash, Jab, and Ribster. The Slash figure has drill nose effects, so the nose actually turns, and then the other two figures have chomping jaw effects. Each figure comes with a shark cage. The figures are said to be about 6 inches in scale. Overall, I would say the detail on these is in keeping with the original figures, but a nice little update. Certainly much better price than those ones they did back in 2021. Now, the figures are said to be released, this first wave of figures is said to be released in June of this year. And just think, if we didn't have Street Sharks, we probably never would have gotten the Fast and the Furious movies. Switching over to Masters of the Universe, earlier this week on the Mattel Creations website, that Masterverse Snout Spout figure went up for purchase, and it's already started shipping out to folks. So I got mine yesterday, and I took some pictures and put them up on TNI wrote out a little brief review. I'm not doing a video review, but I will tell you that I think this figure is fantastic. The detailing on it is nice. I like that the ears you can move. The trunk has 5 points of articulation on it, which is nice. You get the little water effect. It doesn't shoot actual water, unfortunately, but you do get the plastic translucent water effect. He's got his axe, which you can store on the backpack. You got some nice detailing there. You get these hoses, one on the top as well, and these are removable if you want to take them out. Only thing I don't like, I won't say hate, but my biggest complaint about the figure, and it is pretty much a minor complaint, is I wish the color on the gloves was toned down a little bit, more in keeping with the 2000X or Classics version. They used, a very bright color on the gloves there. But otherwise, I think this figure is near perfect. You get the light piping with the eyes. The eyes are yellow, though if you don't have light actually shining in them, they look more red than yellow. But when you get the light in there, the eyes end up looking yellow. So I highly recommend the figure. He is tall. He's possibly the tallest Masterverse figure to date. But, I feel like a character like Snout Spout should be on the taller side. So again, I think this figure is great. It does cost $33, and then with shipping from Mattel Creations, at least for me, it came out to about $40. But I essentially equate this to a deluxe figure, and honestly, I think it's worth the money, at least if you're a fan of the character. If you're not a fan of Snout Spout, then you might not be as much into it, but I definitely think it's one of the better Masterverse figures that they've done in the line to date. And going from Masterverse to Origins, we have our first look at the upcoming Extendar figure. So this is one that was announced last year at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not sure the original source of these images, but they give us our first look at the figure along with the packaging. The artwork on the back is nice. So I believe that's Dragster also featured on the back there. So I don't know yet if this is going to be another Mattel Creation exclusive or if it'll be a general release. Those details have not been released by Mattel. But being that somebody's already gotten this figure in hand, I suspect we'll be hearing more on this one very soon. Now, keeping it with Mattel, but switching over to WWE, also going up on the Mattel Creation website this week is the Ultimate Edition Coliseum Collection Hart Foundation 2-pack. So I've talked about these before. There is the Chase versions with the black cards and then the regular blue cards. The figures, the 2-pack costs $70. Again, it is available on the Mattel Creations website. If you're into the Hart Foundation, then I think this is one that you will want to check out. I definitely feel like the Anvil figure is the better looking of the two. I'm not sure if they quite got the likeness for Bret Hart, but definitely on the Anvil, I think they did a fantastic job. And then to go along with that, also going up on the Mattel Creations website this week is the Ultimate Edition WCW Monday Night Nitro ring that comes with the exclusive Eric Bischoff figure. So that one's going to cost you $140. And again, it is now available on the Mattel Creations website. So Todd McFarlane has once again apparently pissed off a bunch of people, this time a bunch of artists. And the controversy comes where earlier this week he announced the winners for his Sponuary art contest that he launched back in February. So the contest, the idea behind the contest was people submitted their own artwork, recreating covers for Spawn comics. Originally it was said he was going to pick 4 winners, which would possibly have their work featured on future comic books. I don't know if they were going to get paid or if they're just supposed to have their artwork featured for the publicity. But nevertheless, that was the idea behind the contest. But the actual controversy comes where McFarlane apparently picked somebody who used AI-generated artwork for their submission. Now, I'm not going to say definitively that the submission was AI art generated. The winner in question is Robot 9000, who clearly, if you look at his Instagram page, does dabble in artwork. But I'm not an artist, so I don't, I can't sit here and say definitively that this is AI generated artwork. But I have talked to a few people who are artists who feel pretty confident that this is. The person, I should note, on his Instagram tag seems to be indicating it's not, though I don't know if that's something he just recently added or what due to the controversy. But nevertheless, the accusation being made against Todd McFarlane and McFarlane Toys is that they allowed somebody who used AI generated artwork to win their art contest, even though in the rules it does clearly state that AI art cannot be submitted for this particular contest. Now, at this time, Todd McFarlane and McFarlane Toys have yet to make any kind of comment. They have to be aware of this because if you go to their social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's flooded with people, basically expressing their dissatisfaction that this person was chosen as a winner. So, I can't believe they're not aware. However, I will say that they might be giving this person time to prove whether this is actually AI art or not, which is why perhaps they have not yet commented. But it's also possible, I wouldn't be shocked if they're just hoping this goes away and they don't ever mention it again. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think, are you going to boycott the McFarlane unless they reverse course? Do you care? Things like this generally, again, a lot of artists are upset. They don't like AI art because they view it as theft, because essentially the accusation is that, there isn't truly self-aware computers that know how to draw. What is really going on is the computers scour the internet, things like Google and stuff, and they essentially take little bits and pieces from already existing artwork and then incorporate it into like a new piece of artwork. And so essentially they view it as theft. And then also, I think many artists feel threatened by AI art, that it's going to eventually, if not already, take jobs away from them. And many artists are already struggling to find actual good paying work. And so AI art is likely going to make that even worse, which, I think is a legitimate concern. However, again, outside of the people who are threatened by the actual technology, my experience is most people don't care about these things. You don't care if the technology takes jobs away unless it's your job that's actually being taken away. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think this is really going to hurt Todd McFarlane and McFarlane Toys if they don't reverse course? Even if they do, even if they come out and say, hey, this person has been disqualified because he used AI art, it still begs the question of how did this guy get selected anyway? If Todd McFarlane, who is obviously a well-renowned comic book artist himself, was truly looking at all these submissions, how did he not see that this was AI art? How did it slip by? It makes you wonder, did they just kind of randomly pick these winners, or did they truly go through all the submissions and pick the ones that they thought was best? So, again, even if they reverse course, it really kind of begs some questions. And my guess is a lot of people who are unhappy now, even if they disqualify this person, are still going to be pretty unhappy. But again, I'd love to hear your own thoughts on all of this. Let me know down in the comments section. Now, in other McFarlane news, earlier this week, going up for pre-order was that Justice League Plastic Man Build-A-Figure wave that I've previously talked about. So another wave that has seemingly sold out pretty much everywhere. At least Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth are completely sold out. Last time I checked, Amazon still had the Batman figure. The McFarlane store still had the Aquaman figure. I haven't checked any other places, but again, another wave of DC figures that seems to be selling out very quickly. So again, this is the Justice League of America wave with the Plastic Man Build-A-Figure, which definitely seems like is the best figure in the wave because you have both the stretchy arms and regular arms. You've got the Aquaman, you've got the black suit Batman, which is just a repaint of the three Jokers, which I'm not sure is a great look, but I think it would have been better if they had used that Nightfall Batman and repainted it all black. But nevertheless, it's still, except for Amazon, that one is sold out. The blue Superman, the Energy Effects Superman, and still no word on whether we're going to get like a red version as a Platinum Edition. But we'll probably, if that's going to be the case, we'll probably end up seeing it pretty soon. I could also see McFarlane doing waiting a little while and then re-releasing the blue Superman in a 2-pack with the red one. But anyway, again, that one is in the wave, and then finally John Stewart, Green Lantern. But as I say, as I'm filming this today on Friday, most of these figures have sold out. So if you can still find them someplace other than the places I mentioned, and you want to get these figures, especially Plastic Man, you're probably going to want to go on and order them now. And then just today from McFarlane Toys, they revealed this new Doomsday figure, this Superman Batman Doomsday figure, which is a mega figure. It looks like it might have glow-in-the-dark capabilities. The preview that McFarlane released doesn't give a lot of details, but it looks like at least, those spikes on the top and on his arms with the very bright colored green, looks like might glow in the dark. So this is going to be going up for pre-order next week on the 20th. It should be available at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Amazon will probably have it as well, and you can expect it to go up around 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Hiya Toys today released some prototype images for new Contra figures. This is based on the Operation Galuga game. Now, Hiya Toys didn't give us a whole lot of details, just showed off these two prototypes for the Bill Reiser and Lance Bean characters from the game. I will tell you that the limited run game shop had listed an ultimate edition of the game that said was going to include 2 action figures. They didn't say who was making the action figures. Nobody has said what scale any of these figures are, but I don't know if the ones from the limited run game shop are the Hiya Toy figures or those are from somebody else. The images that the limited run game shop put up with the game don't really look like the prototype images, but it's also possible those were early renders and the prototypes are different looking. So again, Hiya Toys has only said these were going to be going up for pre-order soon, but they didn't say how, when, or where. They didn't say what scale the figures were going to be. And then again, with the ones that are said to be coming with that deluxe game, no other details other than this one image that they released of the 2 figures. Same characters, but from the same game. But again, whether these are from the same company or what, I really don't know. So when I find out more about these, I will be sure to let you guys know. Storm Collectibles has released this preview image for their King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Goenitz. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he is coming to the line. This is a 1/12 scale figure. No other details other than this preview image, but I suspect it'll probably be going up for pre-order sometime next week. So when more details and images become available, I'll be sure to let you know. But of course, here in the United States, this figure will be available through our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. 12-inch fans, Hot Toys has released official images for their next Hano Studio Series Marvel figure. The first one was Wolverine. Now we're getting Magneto. So this figure is going to come with a helmeted head, interchangeable hands, attachable color effects for power display, and a signature comic cover style backdrop. Now with these Hano figures, they tend to be cheaper than regular Hot Toys 12-inch figures. This one's going to cost you $190. It is available for pre-order now. You can get it at our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. For you Transformer fans, the Transformers Haslab Omega Prime campaign has come to an end. The campaign ended with 28,230 backers. It was fully funded, including the 2 stretch goals. But again, that campaign, which was successful, has come to an end. Now, the next question is, what will the next Haslab be for Hasbro? Which property will they launch next? Will it be G.I. Joe? Will it be Marvel? Could it even be Star Wars? And when will it launch? My guess is within the next few weeks, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. But as I say, right now, the Transformer, the first Haslab of 2024, was successful with Transformers, and it has now come to an end. So if you decide at some point you want this figure and you didn't back it, you'll have to end up going to the secondary market for it. For Star Wars fans, yesterday we had several new Star Wars items go up for pre-order. So first of all, we have an Amazon exclusive Black Series 3-pack, the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack. So we had seen images for this leak out previously, but we now know it's an Amazon exclusive. The cost of it is $69.99. Last time I checked, it was still available. With this set, you get the Calcettas figure and Inquisitor gear, you get the second sister Inquisitor, and you get a Purge Trooper. So, as I said, this is an Amazon exclusive, and it is available for pre-order now. And according to Amazon, it's supposed to be released on June 1st. And then for you Vintage Collection fans, we got that new Vintage Collection Darth Vader and Stormtrooper figures. So, yes, another Darth Vader and Stormtrooper. These cost $16.99 each. Again, these are for the Vintage Collection, and you can pre-order these at places like our sponsors Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. These are also available on Amazon. And then finally, also for Vintage Collection, a new 4-pack went up for pre-order yesterday. You can get this one at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. It's also available on Hasbro Pulse. The cost of this one is $54.99. This is from the Ahsoka live action series. So you get the Captain Enoch figure, Thrawn's right-hand man, and then 3 Night Trooper zombie type figures. So again, more Stormtroopers. But again, this one, $54.99, is available for pre-order now. If you're a fan of the movie Goonies, Mezco Toys has a new 5-pack for their 5 Points of Articulated line for you. This went up for pre-order today. The cost of it is $100 for all 5 figures. So these are essentially like 4-inch figures with minimal articulation. But with this set, you're going to get Mikey, Chuck, Data, Sloth, and Mouth. So again, pretty much the entire team, at least all the guys, including Chunk. So again, these are smaller scale figures with minimal articulation. They do have a hefty price tag, but you can get them for $100. And again, these should be available pretty much everywhere that carries the 5 Points of Articulation stuff from Mezco, including our sponsors Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Jada Toys has announced the pre-order for their next 1/12 scale Street Fighter II figures with the M. Bison and Dahasum. And yes, I said Dahasum, and that's how I'm always going to say it because it's how I've always said it since the video game came out. But anyway, these are going up for pre-order next week on March 18th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. These will be available at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. I think Amazon will have them as well, since they've already had placeholder pages for both the figures for over a week. But again, definitely Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth will have these up again on March 18th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I suspect they'll cost the same, around $25 each. So it's been announced that Hasbro will be holding a panel at WonderCon this year. The first time they've ever had a panel at WonderCon. But WonderCon will be taking place the weekend of March 30th. That is when the Hasbro panel specifically is, on March 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So 6 p.m. Eastern time, late in the day, because WonderCon takes place out in California. Now, according to the panel description, there will be product reveals for Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series and Vintage Collection, G.I. Joe Classified, Transformers, and Ghostbusters. So I have no idea what they would be showing off for Ghostbusters, but we should be getting some new product reveals that day. Hasbro's Dan Young had mentioned earlier this month that we would be getting new Marvel Legend reveals at the end of the month, so I'm sure that's what he was referring to. Now, I don't think the panel will be live streamed, at least by Hasbro themselves, but usually people in the audience will end up live streaming it or taking pictures or what have you. So if you're attending WonderCon this year, you might want to check this panel out. Again, it'll be taking place on Saturday, March 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. For you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans, we've got a look at a new line from Playmates Toys being called Mutations Mix and Match. So these figures will come with extra parts that you can mix and match throughout the wave. So you don't need to buy multiples to complete one figure, but again, each figure will have extra parts like arms, legs, that type of thing that you can then kind of mix and match. So these figures are going to cost $9.99 each. Now the first wave is going to include Michelangelo, Raphael, Splinter, Bishop, Mechazoid, and Metalhead. So as I say, with these figures, you don't need to buy like multiples to complete one specific character. Each figure just comes with extra parts that you can mix and match either with that figure you're buying or any of the other figures in the wave. So these will be coming out soon, and these should be basically released anywhere that carries Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. And then thanks to the folks at Adventures in Collecting, we have a look at some other new products that were on display at an event in New York City this week. So first of all, we've got a new look at those early sketch figures that I've talked about previously, But the one bit of new news I want to share with you on these is apparently these are going to be released as Target store exclusives. Walmart is getting another round of exclusives as well with these 1998 Turtle remastered figures. So these have the bases, and again, these will be released as Walmart exclusives and are supposed to be out in July. And then finally, new Mutant Mayhem figures with the flocked young Splinter, which definitely looks pretty funny, Ray Fillet, and then a 2-pack featuring baby versions of Rocksteady and Bebop. So again, thanks to the folks at Adventures in Collecting for these images, and I'll put a link to their Instagram down in the video description below. Okay, now Con launched yesterday, and as expected, it was kind of a clusterfuck. The website glitched, and it was telling some people stuff was sold out, or they couldn't add it to their carts. So all the usual stuff that you expect from Walmart essentially happened yesterday. Now, yesterday, only the Hasbro stuff went up in the morning. The G.I. Joe Classified, Ram, Night Force Jeep, the Star Wars stuff, the Transformers, and Marvel Legends, the 2 Marvel Legend figures, the Captain America and the Prowler. So all that stuff went up yesterday morning, and as I'm filming this, all that stuff is still available, even though yesterday, again, people did have issues. But I think those have been worked out, so if you still want them, you can still get those. Later in the day, NECA had some, their stuff went up, which I should note, none of that stuff from NECA that went up for Walmart Collector Con is actually Walmart exclusives, so that stuff will be available elsewhere at a later time. So the D&D figure, the IDW Turtle figures, all that stuff. And also I should note that NECA had a live stream video yesterday on the Walmart website where you can see in the background there, looks like we're getting Silence of the Lambs Ultimate figure. So, that kind of little Easter egg in that video for Hannibal Lecter, I'm assuming, which, NECA did a Hannibal Lecter back in the day for their Cult Classics line, but this is, going to be an Ultimate version. But nevertheless, all that stuff went up yesterday, and all that stuff is still available last time I checked today. However, the stuff that went up for today, the Masters of the Universe Origin stuff, the Turtles of Grayskull stuff, the WWE figures, the AEW figures, even the Playmates Turtle stuff, all of that appears to have sold out today. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm not sure if the stuff that went up today was, produced in much more limited numbers, or if the scalper bots got to them or what. But essentially everything that went up today for Walmart Collector Con has sold out. And whether it's made available again at some later time, I really couldn't tell you. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about down in the comment section below. Also, if you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Now, my G.I. Joe Classified Vamp Jeep from Hasbro Pulse, is supposed to be arriving tomorrow. Assuming it does, I might end up doing like an unboxing live stream on Sunday, so a special edition live stream, especially since I didn't do my normal Thursday live stream. But again, we'll have to wait and see if it actually shows up tomorrow like it's supposed to. But as always, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great weekend, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,